That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And PerGron.
And welcome to perhaps the most self-indulgent podcast we have ever recorded on this channel. It is the second annual Golden Tiki Awards mid-year check-in. Yay!
Woo!
All right, folks, it's been a wild ride as far as movies go. We've had some really high highs. We've had some crushingly low lows.
And a lot of mid.
A lot of mid. You're right. A lot of mid. that is kind of the case this year, unfortunately. So what we're doing here tonight is we are going through and we're going to be announcing the 20 categories. Most of them will be returning from last year, but a few of them will be new. A few of them have been axed from last year. So, it's a little bit of a different roster than we had last year. And we will also be locking in one nominee. And keep in mind, every category is going to have 5 nominees at the end of the year. So we're locking in one for each category. So I've got my little board. I've got my envelopes. PerGron, there's one other thing we need to do. We need to address before we get to it. Would you like to tell the audience about our little clause that we have going on?
Yeah. So Tiki and I have agreed to institute the Zendaya clause, which is a clause because Zendaya's been in 2 really good movies that are both.
I mean, pretty definitively the top 2 of the year, right?
Yeah, I got 1 and 3, but yeah, it's either way. People love both of these movies, and so in order to make it fair to the other movies, so that Dune Part 2 and Challengers don't just get into every category, we have instituted the Zendaya clause, in which both of those movies are limited to a maximum of 10 out of 20 nominations. So we give them half the board so they get their recognition, but they can't sneak into every single category. To make it more fun, fair, interesting, because otherwise it's just going to be this whole thing is just Dune gets in, Dune gets in, Dune gets in.
Wouldn't it be funny if, because we instigated the Zendaya clause, it's like Dee ends up with 15 nominations?
It's possible. We'll see.
I will say, Dee is definitely up there as far as my most nominated. Obviously, are Dune and Challengers, because I mean that's just going to happen. Mm-hmm. But Dee's probably solidly the number 3 most nominated this year for me. So yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's get into it. Best Picture, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go ahead and open my envelope. Yes, we have production design here. I have freaking nominations in all these envelopes. You know what, PerGron? I'm going to have you reveal your nomination first to add suspense to see if we match. All right. So, what is your nomination?
Okay. I went with one I don't think you're gonna pick.
Okay.
I thought, again, Dune and Challengers are the obvious 2, but I want to go give some love to a movie I fell in love with. So I'm going. I saw the TV Glow.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for not nominating fucking Longlegs. I saw the TV Glow, definitely a worthy nomination. I went ahead and did Dune Part 2. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you why, and why I think it just makes sense to just throw Dune Part 2 on here, because in what universe are we not going to nominate Dune Part 2 anyways? You know what I mean? I almost kind of feel like if we don't put it on now, it's just going to kind of take up another slot at the end of the year. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So are you okay with...
I'm not even going to argue it. It's the obvious one. If we were going to put one movie on and lock it in, it's got to be Dune Part 2. I just wanted to show love to a movie that maybe we'll get on, probably won't by the end of the year. But a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed regardless.
Fair enough.
The rest of my nominations are Longlegs, though.
All right, Best Actor. Once again, essentially the first handful of these awards are essentially copying the Oscars. So yeah, so pretty self-explanatory. Kogia says, "I admit that I avoided watching the second Dune film because the first Dune film didn't do well. The first Dune film is all set up, Kogias. It's the Dune Part 2 is where it's at. Okay, so Best Actor. Where's your head at with this one?
So I picked a weird one.
Okay.
But I think it's deserved. Despite the fact that this movie was kind of controversial. I think it's kind of settled down to the point that I'm comfortable nominating David Dastmalchian for Late Night with the
Ooh.
Devil.
Okay, I think we might have a little bit of a debate here because I could kind of see us locking that in. For me, I went with another obvious one. And with challengers, it was kind of like, obviously you've got two really solid like co-lead actors here. I did go with Mike Feist out of the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I would be okay nominating Dastmalchian. Once again, though, I kind of wonder, like, once we get to the end of the year, where we haven't seen stuff like, we haven't seen Nosferatu, we haven't seen any of the big Oscar contenders yet. Is David Dastmalchian really going to be that relevant once we get to the end? Like, are we going to feel stuck with him? Because I'm totally fine giving him the nomination now.
Yeah, I mean, I rewatched that movie again recently.
Okay.
And it really stuck with me. Like, I know the AI thing. I still don't support the AI thing. But at this point, I think enough has happened throughout the year that we can just kind of
right.
We're at a point where a little bit of AI in a movie is, probably the least of our worries.
And you know what, PerGron, I'm going to initiate one other rule in our proceedings tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
We each get one auto lock.
Okay.
So no matter what the discussion, like, it gets locked in right away.
All right. Nick Cage.
Okay. So what do you think? Mike Feist, do you think Mike Feist is, let me ask you this. Do you think Mike Feist is, out of the two of them, the one that should be up for challengers?
I think, and this might be a hot take here, I think they either both get nominated or neither gets nominated.
Yeah, ooh.
I don't know that I can separate them because their performances both really depend on each other.
In that regard, I honestly feel like since it's such a performance-driven movie, but let's ask this though: if they were to both get nominated, that would count for two different spots in the
right.
Zendaya
Unless we nominate them together.
Man.
What if they share the award?
You know what? I'm actually, given the nature of the movie and the fact that this is our award show, we can pretty much do whatever the fuck we want. Do you want to just do that? I wouldn't mind doing that.
You know what? I'm willing to make that concession if we nominate them together.
Okay, let's do it. And I'm
that way they, just
the
like the movie,
boys.
just like the movie, they win and lose together. Yeah, they shared a love interest. They shared many moments.
All right, it's up there. It's locked. The Challengers.
Challengers boys.
All right. Let's see. Juxtaposition said wouldn't be the first thing they shared. Yeah, indeed. All right, moving right along. We're making a good pace with this. Best Actress. Let's go for it. What do you got?
So again, I'm going to the horror well. I'm going with Hunter Schafer for Cuckoo.
Oh. For what? For
Cuckoo?
Okay. I think I might have to concede to that. That's an excellent pick. That should be a lock. I did go with June Squibb for oh God, why am I
Thelma?
Yeah, for Thelma. Yes, thank you. But you know what, Hunter Schafer, I think that's an iconic performance. I like instant, like iconic scream queen status there. I'm totally willing to give it to Hunter Schafer if you don't have strong feelings towards June Squibb.
Yeah, I mean, I like Thelma. I thought she was good in it, and I could see it. I could see us making a case for her being in.
I'm still gonna argue for her at the end of the year, probably.
This year, I've struggled with. There hasn't been too many like actresses that have stood out for me, like lead actresses that have stood out.
It's interesting though that neither of us nominated Zendaya.
The
person who the clause is named after.
Right.
All right, so yeah, let's just go ahead and lock in Hunter Schafer. I think that's pretty straightforward. And more people need to see Cuckoo, people.
Yeah, Cuckoo.
Genuinely my favorite horror movie of the year. Okay. Supporting actor. I forget what I put down for this. What do you got?
You're gonna hate me.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's Nick Cage for long
It's
legs.
fucking Nick Cage. Right, you know what? PerGron, I fucking knew you would do this. So I had a strategy, all right?
So
I put in a performance that I also know that you objectively love, okay?
okay.
All right, I've got Peter McCon from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh.
Think about it. He's a pivotal. I think he's a perfect supporting performance because he's only in about a third of the screen time, but he is like the heart of that whole movie.
Yeah, no, Raka takes it.
Yeah.
Raka takes it.
And now with Apes, I was kind of struggling. Like, do I put him in voiceover? But you know what? With Apes, you got the mocap too. So I think it's really fair.
And I think they can still sneak in there maybe for voice.
I think for voice, I'm actually kind of thinking maybe Proximus will get in for voice. But we'll see. All right. So I'm going to lock in Peter McCon. How do you say his last name? McCon? Am I saying that right?
I think it's McCon.
Okay. Cool. All right. Page 1 of 5 is done, PerGron. Page 1 of 5 is locked in. Okay. This is going very smoothly so far.
Yeah.
All right. Continuing with just traditional Oscar stuff. We got Best Supporting Actress. PerGron, I hope that you and I are on the same page with this. You probably know who I'm going to pick here.
I did, and that's why I didn't pick her. But I'm going to give the one that I picked just to give a little bit of love, but we're going to go with yours.
Okay.
I went with Alicia Weir for Abigail. I thought for a child performance, she was awesome. So
we're not nominating anyone.
No,
Abigail PerGron. With all due respect,
we might.
I had fun with Abigail, but
I think you're forgetting a category that I think Abigail's going to be represented in, but we'll get there.
Possibly. All right, but yes, Joan Chen, Dee Dee. Oh my God, just. Yeah. You know what? She actually got one of the first, because the Academy Awards does those, talks with the Academy. She got one of the first ones of the season, and I'm like, let's go. Let's go. That same thing happened with Ki-hee Kwan the year he got in. So I'm like, let's fucking go. Joan Chen, y'all don't even know. I am rooting for this woman with my heart. Her performance just absolutely knocked my socks off at Dee Dee, and this will not be the last time that we see Dee Dee on this list tonight. Nope. So yeah, okay, let's go ahead and lock in Joan Chen. All right. Almost to the more fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have a fun time cleaning all this stuff up after. Okay, best screen or wait, no, never mind. We're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're missing one there.
Yeah. Okay, best director. Oh, best director. Okay, what do you got?
I feel like we're gonna be on the same page here.
Okay.
But it's Denis Villeneuve. No.
Denny's always open. I just didn't feel like spelling out his name, but
that's fair.
So I'm just gonna put Denny.
Yeah.
In our little chart here.
Our boy Denny.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, right? I feel like that's the most straightforward.
I couldn't even make like a little. Oh, let's honor this person. No,
right. Yeah, I feel you.
It's Denis Villeneuve.
Right. Okay. Screenplay. We might be on the same page with this one. What do you got?
For screenplay, I went with a really wacky choice.
Oh, okay.
I think we're gonna be on the same page,
maybe
but
not.
I won't. No, in agreement, but I think that the one that I picked, you would never think of.
Okay.
I don't think it needs the lock. I don't even think it's in conversation for the lock. But I fucking loved Hundreds of Beavers, dude.
Oh man. Oh shit. Okay. So Hundreds of Beavers, that's one that I didn't even really consider when I was going through my nominees, just because it's in that weird space where it came out in festivals last year, but then it's in wide release this year.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to consider that movie for some technical awards for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm actually I know for a fact there's one technical award I can switch out once we get to it. But okay, but for me, it's got to be Dee Dee, right?
It's Dee
Dee. All right. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think the debate will come with the less prestigious awards.
I mean, this is basically just like, hey, look, we're giving them their flowers early, the ones that are obviously going to be on there.
Yep. Making sure they don't miss out when all the big stuff comes out this fall.
All right, so this is the next. This is the first one in our categories. That's a fun one that, frankly, I wish the Oscars would do, because the Oscars are never going to actually nominate one for the actual acting category. So, best voiceover performance. We might be on the same page. We might.
I think we probably are.
Okay, what do you got?
I got Maya Hawke for
Maya
Anxiety.
Hawke. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. This has been so cordial so far.
Yeah. I'm about to.
The interesting thing with Maya Hawke, though, I will say, is I think she has the potential to be nominated in at least 3 categories, including Best Voiceover Performance.
Ooh, okay.
So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Okay. Ooh, Best Needle Drop. Okay, I know you're not going to agree with the one I picked, because you do not like the movie.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tell you what it is, and we'll see what you pick.
Yeah.
This one might be the most divisive one yet. So even though the movie was it's probably the weakest of the 3 in the trilogy, I still think it's a good movie for what it is, and I love the ending, and I love the ending specifically because of the needle drop. We got Betty Davis Eyes from Maxine.
Okay. Yeah, I went with the normie pick here.
Okay.
But it's Bye 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 from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay, you know what? I will concede if instead of Bye Bye Bye, we do Like a Virgin.
Like a Prayer?
Or Like a Prayer, yeah.
I can make that concession.
Because I just think that I think everyone's going to go to Bye 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 is like the best needle drop in that movie, to the point where it's almost going to be a little bit annoying. And honestly, I think the Like a Prayer sequence is more memorable to me.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can do that. Let's lock that in. So best needle drop, Like a Prayer. Okay. Okay, best score. This is I imagine this is going to be another obvious one.
I think so.
I'm not even going to pin Dune, right? It's Dune.
Oh, no? I put Challengers.
No. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I think we probably, at this point, let me see. What movie has been nominated more between the two of them? Dune has...
I think they're both at 1.
Yeah, they both have 1. Ooh. Okay, anyone in the comments? Juxtaposition. I know you've seen both of these movies. Challengers or Dune Part 2 for score. Because honestly, I think they're both great. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like Challengers is like, it accompanies the movie so well. It accompanies the individual scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Dune Part 2 is just like a triumph of just like, I feel like I could listen to Dune Part 2 just as its own piece of music, entirely disattached from the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that point. I think personally, I think Challengers was just not a better fit for the movie, because I think Dune Part 2 was perfect for the movie, but I think it just played a more integral role in the movie, where like from Dune there's the moments 100%, the that part, that's like stands
Yes,
out.
PerGron. That's the moment. Yes.
But I think that maybe Challengers didn't have that many moments, but
Mhm.
as the movie, I don't think the movie would have been nearly as good without the score. Where I think Dune with a different score would
Oh,
be
son of a bitch.
good, but like great even.
I
But
mean,
I
let's
think
be honest here. Both of these are getting into the final
you wanna
round.
just lock them both in.
No, not really. Just in case something wonky happens and we just get a ridiculous amount of good scores at the second half of
Right.
the year.
That's
I mean,
fair.
we don't know. The Beetlejuice score could be like
It,
fucking amazing.
that's true. We'll find out Friday
We
for me at
will,
least.
yes. Um,
A Frey AI could have an amazing score. We'll find that out tomorrow.
Juxtaposition did say Doom Part 2 was more
I'm
moving.
cool locking Dune Part 2.
Are you okay? Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and do
I'm
it.
not going to fight on what I think is the second best score of the year.
All right, fair enough. Okay, and hey, we might go back around to challengers pretty quickly because we got best ending. What do you got?
So for best ending, I went with Inside Out 2.
I did go with challengers,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I might have to use my lock-in for this
Okay.
because Let's Go, like it's such a perfect ending to me. It's like I feel like literally the whole movie could
Mm-hmm.
be like a house of cards hinging on if that ending works or not. And that
Right.
ending fucking knocks it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ending to Inside Out 2 quite a bit, but I do think there is one caveat that I do think I kind of wish that things would have. I don't know. I feel like Inside Out 2 would have been a little bit better if okay, Kogias, I'm not gonna take the Madam Web stuff. I just feel like Inside Out 2, there maybe could have been a little bit of like I don't really buy that Riley made the hockey team after the stuff that
Yeah,
went down in the third act, you
that's
know?
fair. I read it as like, I don't know. My particular reading was that she was content with either way. So I read it as like, she probably made the team, but she
Well,
learned
look,
enough about herself.
this is the
But
one where I'm gonna have to use my
okay, you can
my
force
lock
it
in
in.
here.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna force in challengers for ending. Not to mention we don't know what's coming up for like
Right.
so yeah, I gotta get Let's Go in
I
there.
have, yeah, I mean, once Saturday night comes out, we could throw away the Zendaya clause entirely.
It's very possible, yes. All right, moving on to some of the more fun categories. Let's
Woo.
go best villain. What do you got?
I got Proximus motherfucking Caesar, baby.
Okay. I've got Dr. Dementis, but I can totally throw it to Caesar. That's fine with me.
All right, what a wonderful day indeed.
Let's see. Best villain Proximus. Mother fucking Caesar.
Dr. Dementis was in my was in my list. So wasn't the Twisters. Just
The Twisters.
the Twisters.
Right. No, there's some solid ones already this year. Dementis is going to be another one where it's like I'm still going to be probably pushing for him at the end of the year because I think he's the best thing about Furiosa for me.
Mm-hmm.
That Chris Hemsworth performance is just chef's kiss. It's like the best thing I've ever seen him do.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Next up, we got a couple just Oscar-y type ones. We got best production design. This is actually going to be the one that I change.
Okay.
So I actually wrote down an unconventional one.
Okay.
I wrote down Inside Out 2, which I know is weird, but I just think with Inside Out 2, there's so much cool, like, visual aesthetic set design going on in that movie. You know what I mean? I know none of it is actually physical, but I still think from a design point of view, that movie just sings. But I got to give it to Hundreds of Beavers if we're going to give Hundreds of Beavers anything.
Yeah, I saw the TV glow. But I'm down with Hundreds of Beavers.
Are you down with Hundreds of Beavers?
I'm down with Hundreds of Beavers.
Okay, let's do it.
And if you're watching this and you haven't watched Hundreds of Beavers, watch Hundreds of Beavers. Like, you need to watch Hundreds of Beavers. It's amazing. It's a live action Looney Tunes cartoon. It's so good.
I feel like a lot of comedies like try to advertise themselves like that, but no, that is exactly what Hundreds of Beavers is. Just through and through. It's like a live action Looney Tune cartoon mixed with a Zelda movie. And if you know with the Zelda stuff. All right. Best visual effects. I think this is one I went really boring with. Let's see. Yep, it's the boring pick. Dune Part 2.
Yeah, I mean, I went with Twisters, but
actually,
hold on, no, visual
effects.
Be
a lock, right?
Shit, hold on, I changed my answer. Best visual effects, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
No, I still, unless you want to use your lock-in. If you want to use your lock-in.
I don't want to use my lock-in. I'm okay with Dune.
I think it's right.
I think it's got to be locked in.
I mean, if we don't put it in now, it's going to be in regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Madam Web.
Oh God. Best ADR dubbing, Madam Web.
Yeah, Madam Web.
All right, this next one, it can go a lot of different directions. I'm honestly not really like super confident about the one that I put in, but you know what? It is kind of like a second chance for me to get her in. I have June Squibb as nostalgia.
Okay. I went Channing Tatum in Deadpool. I was so happy.
Yeah, that's the Channing Tatum. If we're gonna do anything, I can concede to that.
I was so happy to see Channing Tatum's Gambit.
Not only is it cool to see him, but the fact that he's having such a fucking fun time in that role.
Yeah. I love the accent. I know it's kind of a funny bit or whatever. I would 100% watch a movie with the accent. I would. I think it's so good. I want that never made Gambit movie made so bad. So, all
right, and PerGron. Next, we come to your personal favorite category.
My favorite category.
Doesn't he have support? No, with Deadpool and Wolverine, I would say that anyone who isn't like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Yeah, exactly. I would say they're for the most part cameos. I like Rob Delaney is probably the third lead in that movie. You know what I mean? Either him or Tom Wasgams. Okay, so PerGron, I reconfigured the wording on this just a little bit. I hope you approve.
Okay.
So we're going to have the honorary Barry Keoghan Weirdest Little Creep Award.
There we go.
Barry Keoghan in the actual title.
He's been busy this year with Sabrina Carpenter.
So do you want to explain the Weird Little Creep Award?
Yeah, so Barry Keoghan is just a weird little creep. And during last year's stream, I made a joke about there being a Weird Little Creep Award, and it always goes to Barry Keoghan. But Barry Keoghan hasn't been in any movies this year. Nope. So we decided to go with the Weirdest Little Creep Award in honor.
Like he should be in Nosferatu, right? I feel like he should be by all intents and purposes.
But in honor of Barry Keoghan, we have the Weirdest Little Creep Award. A beautiful thing. I'm very excited for this one.
All right, so I know you're not a huge fan of this movie, but I honestly think this person fits really well into this category, so I'm curious if you'll agree with me. Okay. I put Haley Joel Osment in Blink Twice.
Haley Joel is a weird little creep. Haley Joel is kind of the definition of a weird little creep.
I know, right?
I know I mentioned this in your movie memoirs in the chat. I love when Haley Joel Osment just brutally dies in things. I don't think it happens as much as my brain thinks it happens, but I always go back to The Boys when he's just getting his face smashed in. But Haley Joel plays a good little creep. For my pick this year, I got to throw some more love to him. I got to go Dave Desmalchin.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
he was
Okay.
being a weird little fucking creep. He's always a weird little creep. I think he is second to Barry Keoghan for just being a weird little creep in real life. Except he's very tall, so he's kind of a weird big creep.
My only argument with Dave Desmalchin here, I assume you're doing it for Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
I actually think that his character in that movie, like, obviously he gets more unhinged as the movie goes on, but I feel like he's relatively put together, like, you know, with having the TV personality and everything. So I don't know. I'm not really feeling that nomination.
Yeah, I think by the end of the movie, he just is a weird little creep, though.
Okay.
I'd also be okay with. I mean, I'm okay with Haley Joel.
I feel like I've talked you into everything, though. So if you really want him,
I'm gonna use my lock.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it, and we're gonna put David Desmalchin in.
You know what? You're gonna have to do me a favor, though.
Okay.
You're gonna have to look up how to spell Desmalchin.
I know it off my head.
Do you really?
I do. It's Dast.
Okay.
Malchian.
Can't even fit it into one line. All right, it's locked. And both our locks have been used up, which makes the last four maybe potentially really interesting. All right, best cinematography, another kind of boring Oscar-y category, but we'll get to it. I think it's essential, though. What do you got?
I got Challengers.
Yep. Easy.
Yeah, that tennis ball shot.
The tennis ball shot, and then also the shot like where they're the glass tennis court that you're looking up from. Just incredible. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty easy. Honestly, PerGron, this is going like so much smoother than I anticipated it.
I'm excited for this next one.
The Best Year Award. So why don't you explain the Best Year Award?
Yeah, so we've had
The musician says suspense on who gets cinematography. I was on edge.
So this year has been a good year for some actors. And some of them have had really good years, like a really good year. And I think it was a good, kind of a neat thing to honor some of these guys who aren't going to get into the acting categories, but deserve to have like, oh shit, they were in all of these movies and they were the best part of them.
Right.
So yeah, I think there's like 3 or 4 contenders here. We also agreed that we can put directors in here.
Yes.
Cinematographers, if we really want to. I think anyone.
If we really want to be weird.
Yeah, I think anyone's up for it.
Sure.
I think they just have to have like a good year, not just a good movie. So like Denis Villeneuve is not going to get in here.
No, yeah, right.
Because he's had one great movie, possibly the best movie, but he's not getting in because he's only had one.
All right. So who is your contender here?
I'm going with my boy Dan Stevens.
Yup.
There he is. I mean, Abigail, Godzilla, and Cuckoo. He was the best part of all 3 of them.
And with those first 2, I don't even think they're amazing movies, but I think his screen presence in them is amazing.
Yep.
Also, I'm going to point out right now, it was very hard for me to choose between Haley Joel Osment and Dan Stevens in Cuckoo for Weird Little Creep.
That's fair.
And once we get to the end of the year, I am going to be championing hard for him to get into Weird Little Creep. The little Pied Piper thing that
he is a weird little creep.
All right. PerGron, we are just like on the same page with a lot.
We got to get Dragon in here.
Oh God, no, with all due respect to Dragon,
Code Geass gets 1 lock.
If we had Dragon in there, you know that we'd have to make a Deadpool 3 clause. All right, most annoying trailer, another category you came up with. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but
just what trailer am I sick and fucking tired of? I know you do.
A few this year. There's definitely been a few.
I know you do as well, but I go to the theater a lot, and I am so sick
Here's the thing about my theater, though, is I feel like my theater, they have like a default rotation of kids movie trailers and a default rotation of non-kids movie trailers. So like once a trailer gets added to that rotation, I'm like, oh great, I guess I'm fucking watching this for the next 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I go to Regal where they just, no matter what the movie is, they just promote some of them really hard. But yeah, you want me to just reveal my pick?
Yeah. What do you got?
All right, I got the current one because it's currently just bothering the absolute shit out of me because it's in front of literally everything. What's it called? I keep wanting to say "Don't Speak." That's not it.
Speak No Evil.
Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
It's fucking. I hate it. The whole movie. It's 5 minutes. And it's the whole movie, and they play it in front of everything. I feel like I've seen Speak No Evil now.
Did you see the trailer for Speak No Evil in front of Despicable Me 4?
I saw it. They put it in front of everything. I probably did. Like it's so annoying. It's and it's just like the little boy, and he snip the tongue, and it's.
Let me just say, as someone who watched the original Speak No Evil, because it is an American remake.
Yep.
The original Speak No Evil genuinely may be the single most disturbing horror movie I have ever seen in my life, bar none.
This will not be, I don't think.
No, it won't.
I do think James McAvoy could get a bump into Weird Little Creep, though.
Ooh, yeah.
He's looking like a weird little creep.
I mean, James McAvoy is kind of in that Barry Keoghan territory. Yeah. Just like every time he pops up, he's kind of in that mold. I'm sorry, PerGron, but I have not had this issue, and so it's going to be very hard for me to actually pass this on. And I think you're going to agree on the trailer that I have. It's time to meet the real Argyle.
I figured you were going Argyle, and I can't.
It's gotta be Argyle. Argyle's gotta be the fucking lock. Come on.
I kind of. Do you mind if I throw out a second?
Sure. Go ahead.
Because I think the Fall Guy could easily be a lock here too.
You know what? My argument between Argyle and the Fall Guy is that I honestly just think the Fall Guy was equally as obnoxious as Argyle as far as like, okay, here we go. I'm seeing the trailer again. But at least with the Fall Guy, it's like, okay, you got some Ryan Gosling chemistry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas with Argyle, it's literally like that whole trailer is just annoying as shit. Okay, I'm gonna lock in Argyle right here with this argument, okay? You know that shot at the end of the Argyle trailer where the cat jumps from the building and then the cat like jumps back up and it's like Okay, you know that awkward fucking moment in the theater where the people who haven't seen the trailer are like, oh, funny cat. That right there. That right fucking there.
Yeah. No, you got it.
Over the edge.
Yeah. No, and Argyle.
Funny cat. I like I don't know. This movie's got a funny cat in it, so I might like it.
And Speak No Evil's not out yet. It could be good. So, and the Fall Guy wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Argyle was bad.
It definitely wasn't great.
No,
Argyle, I will never see in my life. I will never watch that movie in my life.
Argyle was a bad movie and had a terrible trailer, so I think it's
all right, locked in. Okay, PerGron, I'm genuinely like, I think it's really just kind of funny that the last category is something that's so kind of mundane. Sound, baby.
Sound.
And honestly, this might be another probably pretty obvious one. What do you got?
I have Twisters.
Okay. I've got Furiosa, but I'll give you Twisters.
Yeah, I thought Twisters was like the sound mixing.
I mean, I feel like, dude, this is another one where Doom Part 2 could easily get in.
It could, and I would not be surprised if it does.
Yeah, but I kind of felt like at this point, like there's other. I think the sound was one of the best elements of Furiosa, but the sound was also one of the best elements of Twisters. I'll go ahead and throw in Twisters.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to throw in like kind of a dark horse for Weird Little Creep. I actually think that David Corenswet in Twisters is kind of a weird little creep.
He is a weird little creep.
Because he's just kind of like just vaguely like antagonistic to the main character the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of like vaguely like a weird dick.
I have so many for weird little creep. Jesse Plemons in Civil War.
Oh fuck! You know what? Jesse Plemons for Civil War. That should be a lock for cameo. Actually.
Also Jesse Plemons in Kinds of Kindness. Willem Dafoe in Kinds of Kindness. Emma Stone in Kinds of Kindness. Mamadou Athie in Kinds of Kindness.
Okay, I'm gonna be straight up with you. We're not putting Kinds of Kindness on this.
No, just for they're all weird little creeps though.
All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun, PerGron, and like I said, like honestly, like I have to go do something at 10 o'clock your time, and I was like, okay, can we get through this in 2 hours? I don't know, but no, we breezed through this.
Yeah, 40 minutes.
Yeah. So
nice
just go ahead. Sorry.
Nice and sweet and to the point.
Yeah. So just to recap, so for Best Picture, we have Dune Part 2. And again, folks, all of these are just like the initial nomination. There's still going to be another 4 that we will figure out at the end of the year. So
yeah, maybe we'll even do a stream like the Oscars and reveal all of our nominations.
I think we should, honestly.
And then we put up the award, the polls.
Okay, so Best Picture, we got Dune Part 2. Best Actor, The Challengers Boys.
Both of them, the boys.
The boys. I wanted to put Zendaya's White Boys, but I was like, no, that's maybe a little too racy. Okay, Best Actress, Hunter Schafer for Cuckoo. Best Supporting Actor, Peter McCann for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. All right. Best Supporting Actress, we got Joan Chen in Dee Dee. Mm-hmm. Best Director, we got Denny! My boy Denny! I know your name's not spelled like that, but it's Denny!
My old college hangout.
All right, Best Screenplay, we got Dee Dee. Best Voiceover Performance, we have Maya Hawke. Right. Best Needle Drop, we have Like a Prayer from Deadpool and Wolverine. Best Score, we have Dune Part 2. Best Ending, we have Challengers. Best Villain, we have Proximus motherfucking Caesar. That's just going to be how it's spelled on the poll, too. All right. Best Production Design, Hundreds of Beavers. I'm actually very happy about that one. If Hundreds of Beavers just gets one nomination, I think that's a very appropriate one. Mm-hmm. Best Visual Effects, Dune Part 2. Best Cameo, I'm Gambit, baby. Channing Tatum. We have the honorary Barry Keoghan Weird Little Creep Award. Goes to Dave Dashmalshin for Late Night with the Devil. All right. And last page, we have Best Cinematography, Challengers. The Best Year Award goes to Dan Stevens. Most Annoying Trailer, Argyle. And Best Sound goes to Twisters. And once more, folks, these are just like the initial locked-in first nominations. Definitely not the winners at this point. So we will be back at the end of the year to reveal our I don't think we're going to do a stream on the nominations because that would just probably be too messy. But we'll definitely do a stream revealing the nomination,
right? Not
the nomination process.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, PerGron, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. And
I'm very happy for how short this turned out.
Yeah, we got this done and dusted.
Right. Okay, that'll be it. Big thanks to Kogios and Juxtaposition for joining us in the comments. And have a good night, everyone. See you all later.